Good day, good afternoon, good evening to everyone that is here. Thank you so very much. Welcome. I'm so happy and just so full of joy to see such a huge room of people here supporting mental health today. It's our last day of the month, but of course we should celebrate mental health all year long. But thank you guys so very much for joining us and being here. This is my second year doing my collective conversations in regards to mental health awareness. So today, we will definitely be speaking about connection, understanding, and breaking down those stigmas and boundaries and things like that. But we will also be highlighting Mendable. Mendable is a global community that is approaching mental health awareness and mental health healing in a different way through connection and innovation. And it's a huge tool in my life. It's one of my biggest tools, actually, that I have for my mental health healing. And I'm so honored today to be able to have this platform where I can shed light on all great things that's happening with Mendable. Um, for many of you here that know me, I know you do know my background and things that I do, but for those who don't, I am a Reiki practitioner, and I am a children's wellness author and a mental health advocate. So all things mental health awareness. So I'm just grateful to be here with you guys, and thank you so much for joining us. And what I'm going to do is, I guess I would love to ask Sophia, being that she is Sophia May. She is our CEO and founder of Mendable. And she created this awesome, amazing platform that has touched so many people and reached so many hearts and helped so many people heal along their way. So I'm so forever grateful for you. And thank you for joining us today because Sophia is not in the United States. Sophia is across the pond. And I just want to thank everyone for being here because there's many of us here today that is not on US time. So I appreciate you all. Let's get started. But I would love for Sophia to introduce herself, speak a little bit about creating Mendable and what made you have this idea, brilliant idea, of course, and just kind of what was put on your heart. And then also, if you could speak about the conference that's coming up.
It's lovely to meet you all. I hope to hear some voices today as well. I'm Sophia May. I am the founder and CEO of Mendable, which was created, bit of background story. So some of you know, some of you may not know. I had a successful music career and I was asked to do some rooms around kind of networking in the music industry, which I did do with our wonderful pop star who will be in here shortly as well. I said to him that I was not feeling as fulfilled as I would like to be, and as a registered mental health nurse, I wanted to kind of give back a bit more than what I was doing around just music specifically. So I asked him whether he'd be willing to support me in starting a room around mental health and people being able to share their stories and have that kind of peer-to-peer support, which he said absolutely. And we started the Mendable space. We started it for men only to begin with. And then we quickly recognized that so many people were in need. Since it was, well, over 4 years ago now. So during the kind of pandemic time. So we opened it up for anyone. So we have our Monday room, we have our Thursday room. In the background of that, which is a community that's been, yeah, growing over the last 4 years to the point of 27,000 members, which is it's incredible. We are working in the background with a team from Canada, two brothers, David and Daniel Roach, and David's son Lucas, on building an app for wellbeing as well. So we have kind of the core team. We've got a lovely David Jakes and Corey and Nicole and Raj and but well, just lots of people involved in that sort of backside of Mendable as well. Probably wasn't the right term. The back end of Mendable as well, where we are developing an app around the vagus nerve, as we know, and it's kind of really coming to light now that it's pivotal in our well-being, and managing and activating our vagus nerve can really help with anxiety and stress levels. So The app is in full steam ahead. The workshops are being written in the background by myself, Corey, and Nicole as well, and Pat, and we are almost there. So there's that going on. We've been doing the Mendable merchandise. We've got our lovely podcast from David Jakes. I'm not sure if you're a speaker today, David, but the podcasts are amazing. And I know some of you and many more will be doing more interviews with that. They're on Spotify and YouTube as well. What else do we have? We have the Mendable song produced by our Jayon. Again, I don't know if you're a speaker today, but Jayon's story is a powerful one, and the inspiration from music has helped to kind of keep him strong, keep him going. And he sent me a track, and I said, you know what, I just felt to write to it. And I hadn't done music for a little minute, but I wrote and sang the Mendable song. So that's out for everybody as well, free to anyone that would like a copy of that. And then we go on to our conference, which is on the 11th of October in Atlanta, headed up by our lovely Corey, who you'll hear speak shortly as well. And that's going to kind of be an opportunity for us to have speakers that can share their stories, but also put it to businesses. Look after your employees, right? Look after your employees. They will be happy. They will stay in work. Building resilience is key. So that's what we can help with. And that's the goal. So, yes, bottom line, so much going on, but all very exciting stuff. And in the last 4 years, I can't believe how far we've really come. And that's thanks to a lot of you guys that come, you turn up, you show love and support to each other. So I am forever grateful. And let's keep going. I'm done. Thank you.
So today, once again, I see so many people jumping into the space. I just want to say thank you for being here, supporting us, and allowing us to, lean into this space with openness and compassion and just support and awareness for each other. So thank you so very much. I would love to move into a speaker. EA, I would love to jump into you. I mean, I don't, I'm not going out of order, but EA, I would love to ask for you to start us off and introduce yourself, all things that you do. I know you do some great things on your entrepreneurial side, and also what you would love to share about Mendable, and I'll have a question for you as well.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite. EA here. I am in the West Coast, or Oregon specifically. I'm a licensed mental health and substance abuse counselor, and I'm an author, podcaster, OMG entertainer. And recovery is just like that's the words I like to speak across the country. I go around touring, just talking about the new world of recovery, because recovery is a big deal, and recovery is a mindset. It has very little to do with substances. It has all to do with your mind and how you think and how you process information. So I love these kind of forums. Even though it's 7 a.m., I'm on fire. I'm ready. Okay. If you want to know more about me, I have a website, ericallenrecovery.shop, ERICK, Allen, ALLEN, recovery.shop. It tell you everything you want to know about me. So thanks for having me again. Let's go.
I would like to ask you, I have a cheap word over here. Um, how have your perspectives or habits changed since engaging with Mendable?
Wow, that's a big question at 7 a.m. Okay. So for me, I've been in Mendable about maybe 3 years. And the first day I went in there following my brother Jahan, and I knew it was just the right space for me. I've been able to just pour out to people. For me as a counselor, sometimes therapy is just letting people speak. A lot of us don't feel like we're being heard, and talk therapy is like such an important modality when you think about recovery, when you think about mental health. So for me, I love Mendable, all things Mendable. I'm in there Mondays and Thursdays. We need to start a Wednesday, Tuesday mission as well, because I believe consistency is key, and we need to be like every day, all day. That's what the EA stands for. Every day, all day, because that's the kind of attitude you got to have to do this work. Okay.
Thank you so much, EA. I really appreciate you. And thank you so much for being here, 7 a.m. in the morning, supporting mental health and Mendable. Love you. I would love to introduce Nick. He, man, when I first heard Nick speak in the Mendable room, like I would not have imagined how beautifully young he is. I'm thinking, and then when he tells you, I'm not gonna, I'll leave that up to you if you want to mention your age. But my gosh, the maturity that he has, the empowerment that he gives, the support, the way he presents himself, it's amazing. And I've always been drawn to you, Nick, from the first time hearing you speak. So I love all that you do, all that you represent. I love your app. I'll let you definitely speak about your app that you have. And yeah, you know what? I'll pass it over to you. Thank you so much for being here, Nick. Thank you for saying yes.
It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. I love this Mendable family. I'll do anything for Mendable. Sophia, you know that. Anything that's involved Mendable related, I'm all in, just like my brother EA. For those of you that don't know me, I am a mental health advocate first. I'm a public speaker, mental health coach. I also Most of you don't know, I actually coach basketball. That's like my main thing outside of the mental health space. I coach girls basketball in my hometown. So I'm huge on giving back to the youth. I'm a huge philanthropist. I'm all things mental health. I love to empower, impact, and inspire the youth because they are our next generation. But for the majority of my mental health speaking, I like to lead it more towards men because as a man, I struggle with my mental health growing up in my journey, which led me into being a mental health speaker. There were many times, I'll be honest, where I didn't think I'd even make it to 29. Yes, I'm 29 years of age. That may strike a lot of people. I'm very young compared to most, but I will say that I've learned that age is just a number. It's really what you go through as far as your experience that matures you and helps you understand why you're here on earth. And for me, trigger warning for anybody. I'm going to make this very clear. I always like to say this because I want you to know the context as to why I speak on mental health. I'm a three-time suicide survivor, and I'll kid you not, it took a lot of time and patience and healing for me to say that out loud to people I didn't know or people that I even did know. It took a lot of time to say that out loud, but I will say it led me on this path, and I knew that I signed up for the right profession because putting a smile on people's faces, that's just so everlasting to me. And that's what Mendable helped me out a lot with that. Like I've met people across the pond, people in the US. Like there have been so many people in this Mendable space that are just so giving to other people and literally do it for no reason at all. And that's what drew me to being a part of this particular conversation on a beautiful Saturday morning, even though it's cloudy where I'm at, the sun isn't shining, but we're gonna ignore that. But either way, I'm just grateful to be here with all of you. Those of you I don't know, I hope to get to know you. And just know that the last thing I'll say on this before Joynettie asks me a beautiful question, your mental health matters. Your life matters. Your feelings matter. The way you look at life matters. And just know that you are loved and you are appreciated for the things you do or the things you may have not have done yet. So, Joynettie, I'm ready to answer that question when you are, my friend.
Nick, I want to say, thank you so much for your vulnerability. You always show up as your true, authentic self. You never give anything less than that. And, for me, one of the biggest things I've learned with Mendable is that our testimony helps heal others, as well as ourselves. And I'm so grateful for you because there is a lot of young men and women that suffer with a lot of mental health things and they don't know how to handle it. They don't have mentorship. They don't even realize that there is something going on. So I'm forever grateful for you. I have a 22-year-old son, and I know that it's not easy for young men to be very vulnerable, and for whatever age. So I really admire that about you, and I really appreciate your courage in everything that you do. So thank you so much for that. So my question for you is, how has connecting with like-minded individuals through Mendable shifted your mental health journey?
Ooh, that is a beautiful question. I'm going to try my best to answer it the best way and not go too long-winded because there will be times I do that. I know Sophia's looking at me like, Nick, you better not go on tangents, but I promise you I'm not going to go on a tangent with this one. For me, mental health, the journey of mental health for me has been very inspiring. And the reason why I use that word is because I've met people from all different walks of life. And I think Mendable just really alluded to how important seeing from different points of view rather than just your own really matters, because people from all across the world, no matter where they are in their life, what they've endured, what their profession is, what they're currently going through, that's in their mind that they can't put into words. We all have feelings. We all have a reason for being here. And I think the one thing that I love about Mendable is that they bring people together, whether they actually know somebody deep within their heart or they're just meeting them for the first time. Mendable has a way of bringing people together and making people stay. Because sometimes when you talk about mental health for the first time, it kind of rubs people the wrong way. They don't know how to talk about it. They don't know if it's going to be perceived. They don't know if people are going to love them for what they speak about. So for me, Mendable, and I'll be honest, to everybody in here, this isn't just targeted at one specific person. All of you have inspired me in some way, shape, or form, whether it's one or two words, you speak in a whole sermon, or you've just literally just been present. You've inspired me in some way. And that, to me, that connection piece, whether I've met you in real life, because I've only actually met a couple of you in real life. And EA and Loyalty, you guys know I met you in real life. Corey, I met you in real life, brother. I'll tell you what, just meeting those three people in real life and actually building a great friendship with them and still sharing space and Mendable with them to this day, I can't wait to meet all of you in October, because I can only imagine just how you are in person as you are in social media and on Clubhouse. Because oh, you guys are such beautiful people. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I know it's easy to say those things, but you guys are such beautiful people. And I would not be on this journey more for myself if it wasn't for you guys speaking on your testimonies, sharing your vulnerability, telling us how you lived and conquered your life. Like for me, that's so everlasting. That's like impact that'll carry for generations. So I'm trying not to go on a tangent because there really is so much I could say to this question, but I think I'm just going to leave it at that and let that breathe.
Oh, I think, thank you so much, Nick. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, so what I'll do is I will have myself share now. And after Nick's powerful share, I'm all like, I get to crying, guys, so bear with me. But for me, Mendable was something that I stumbled across. And I use the word stumbled across, but it wasn't really stumbled across. I believe it was divinely led to me. And I don't believe in coincidences, so I know I was supposed to be there when I was there. Um, and for me, my journey with my mental health has been it's been exactly that, a journey. For me, my biggest thing is that I deal with grief. And the transition of my mother in 2021 from COVID came and hit me in such a place where I really didn't know how to handle that, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to, all I could do was ask for guidance. I'm not a very religious person, but I'm a very, very spiritual person. So, you ask and you shall receive. And I stumbled across beautiful Ella that is here today. One of my biggest healing modalities that I found is meditation. And when I was on Clubhouse and I saw Ella was holding these meditation rooms, I jumped into that right away and she welcomed me with open arms. And one day after her room, she said, "Well, I'm heading over to the Mendable room." I was like, "What is that?" What's that about? And she's like, "It's the men's mental health group that, we support and things like that. And we have 2 days, Monday, Thursday, and Thursdays we kind of open up everything to the women as well." And it's like, wow, I want to know about this. And that's exactly how it started for me. I followed Ella into Mendable. Um, and I met a lot of other people in there as well that I went to certain different rooms there. But I never once imagined that it would be such a big thing for me in my life as it is today. Um, when I first got there, first of all, the love that was poured into me just from me sharing what I was going through, the support, the love, just the safe space of allowing me to share my heart, allowing me to cry, allowing me to be vulnerable, to hold my heart. And then, sister, if you need anything outside of this room, feel free to reach out to us in the background. You know, they don't give medical advice. We don't get, I'm going to say we because I'm a part of Mendable now. We don't give medical advice, but the support. I mean, my goodness, I have not felt a support team like this ever. So this is a wonderful community for me. It definitely helps me anytime I have, something that goes on in my life where I feel I don't know how to handle this right now, or I feel myself slipping into a depression or having anxiety at the moment or not knowing how to tackle it. The first thing that comes to my mind is I'll be in Mendable on Monday. Um, I'll be there Thursday, and I know that I can reach out to them outside of the room as well. It's one of the biggest things that I've ever experienced for mental health awareness. So I'm forever grateful for you, Sophia, because for this to be put on your heart and you to follow through with it, it's a blessing. It really is. And I see so many people come into Mendable in and out. We don't mind if you don't come every Monday or Thursday. You can come once and come back a few months later. We're still here for you. We still hold that space and love for you, and that's what it has been for me. I couldn't imagine my healing journey being without Mendable now. That's something that is so dear to my heart. So I'm forever grateful for you guys. I love you all so very much. And we have such a friendship that has grown. And it's more than a friendship. This is my family now. This is where it comes down to you can have a chosen family. You can choose who you want to be in your family and who you don't. And this is my chosen family. I love you guys so very, very much. And I'm grateful for you all. So I'm happy to see you guys at the conference that will be coming up in October. And yeah, I'm gonna stop now before I start crying all over the place. But I'm grateful for you guys, and thank you for allowing me to be able to share this on my platform, because that's so awesome for me as well. Sharing my testimony and then allowing people to be able to have a safe space like this is something that is very dear to my heart. I love you guys so much. Thank you. And since I've been asking all the questions, does anybody have a question for me?
I would like to know how was Mendable able to kind of help you to deal with issues around, different circumstances in the workspace, just outside of your personal life, but outside in the corporate aspect of your life as well. Like, is there any situation or anything that ever happened to where you can highlight, like, hey, when this happened, I was able to reflect on some of the things I learned from Mendable, or I was able to reach out to somebody to help me through this certain situation that had to deal with your job and your work life?
Thank you. So I definitely I remember this very well when I first started. When I went through the transition of my mother, I took a big break. I stopped working. I needed to focus on really healing and finding a safe space for myself as far as mentally, and then being able to continue with that. So the first job that I went into, man, it drove me crazy. I'm in the medical field. I've been doing that for a very long time, over 15 years. And I went into drawing blood again, being a phlebotomist. And it was terrible. It was good money, but it was terrible. It drained me. It drained everything that I had. I was stressed. I was kind of like, guys, what am I going to do with this? And then ultimately I decided to leave that position. But I know 10 years ago, I wouldn't have did that. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have did that. I would have stayed in survival mode. I would have stayed where I was unhappy just for a paycheck. Mendable has been able to give me so much self-worth, allow myself so much self-dignity, and that comes with all of the people that are here. You know, from me being able to share my story with you guys and then take in and receive everything that you give back to me is what I've been able to stand with and what I've been able to feel courage within myself with. You know, Mendable not only holds a safe space for you, they pour so much love into you that you have no other choice but to pour that love back into yourself, right? And when you start to love yourself and you start to know what you deserve and what you don't deserve, and when you have people always uplifting you and telling you, you know, this is you're such a good person, you don't deserve this, you don't deserve that, you know, you deserve to be happy, you deserve to be loved, you deserve to feel joy and happiness, you definitely believe it, even if you don't believe it right away, right? But when you have that support system that keeps speaking that to you, keep speaking life and love into you, that is what is a game changer. And that's exactly what has helped me. All of you guys pouring into me, telling me exactly, you know, I can do it, don't give up. Jay Harness, one of the biggest things he tells us, don't give up, keep going, you know, and I believed in myself, and I believed that I was worth more than what I was receiving. I was worth more than what they were giving to me. I did not have to live in a stressful environment where I was going to be no good to myself. And I left the job and I came into Mendable and I was like, guys, I quit. I can't take it no more. Like, it's driving me crazy. Like, it's just, and everybody's like, oh, Joynettie, don't worry. Like, it's going to be okay. Like, you know, you did the right thing, you know. And that's also another thing too, the reassurance of, like, you know, sometimes we doubt ourselves and we doubt the things that we decide, and to have positive love being poured into you is what it's all about. They supported my decision, and that's what I needed, and that's what made me be able to move on and find a great position that I'm in now. Believing in myself is what Mendable gave me in that moment.
Very heartfelt, very heartfelt. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And again, just, you know, on the behalf of the Memorable family, we just want to thank you for holding the platform and inviting us and, you know, making this special event today around Mendable. But thank you so much, Joynettie, for that share. And with that being said, I guess we can go ahead and go to the next person. But at this time, I'd like to introduce our sister anxiety coach, Miss Nicole Mills, who offers so much value to this space and to this family. And just glad to have her there. She's definitely someone that we can always depend on. She's always one that's willing to step up, you know, and add value. So with no further ado, I introduce to you, hold on. I introduce to you, drum roll, Nicole. La, 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 la.
I want to say, first of all, thank you for doing this. Joynettie, thank you for having us on your platform. Sophia, thank you for the idea of Mendable and for activating the ideas. So many times we have ideas, but we don't execute. And so we have plans. One day I will, someday I will, but you actually did. And you enrolled a team to support you so that it's not all on you and that the mission continues, because when you submit to the mission, not to the man, and in this case, to the woman. I came to Mendable because I was following this boxer. He was my very first friend on Clubhouse. So if anyone doesn't know, this app is on Clubhouse. And I was like, oh, somebody wants to be my friend already? I've only been on here a couple of hours. And he was some kind of professional boxer in the UK. So I came and I said, okay, well, I guess because we're friends, I need to go where he is. And then life started lifing and I wasn't thinking about him anymore, whatever. And I saw Jay Han in another space. And then when I saw Jay Han in the middle of the day in Mendable, I said, well, let me go. So I came and I was nosy for about 6 months. Let me see what's going on. Let me not say anything. Let me just watch this. And so I just observed for about 6 months. I wouldn't say anything because my experience is sometimes my speaking makes other people feel intimidated. So I'll say the least amount possible whenever I can, because I do a lot of studying and a lot of research. So if I say something that is perceived as wisdom, it's because I've been studying, I've been researching. I'm not just spitting off any rhetoric. So I came to Mendable and I've been here ever since. And that's really all I got. Oh, I'm a anxiety coach, and I specialize in childhood trauma and anxiety. And in the daytime, I'm a receiving inspector, so I look at details. I look at how people show up, how they speak. And I was looking at the parallel of me being a receiving inspector and an anxiety coach. And so I receive parts that we pay for and look for non-conformance and non-compliance. And in real life, I look for um, authenticity versus inauthenticity. And so it's the details. Everything is in the details. So I'm always looking for details, looking at what's going on, ways that I can add value, because sometimes people don't need or want your help, and sometimes they do. So I try to go where I'm needed and wanted. And with that, that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Nicole. I love you. And I want to just ask you really quick, because I know somebody else has a question. How has your perspective or habits changed since engaging with Mendable?
My habits, every day, and I would say since about 2012. So since about 2012, when I get up, and I can remember that day because I had a blood clot, I was hospitalized, I thought I was going to die, all these things was going on, right? And so I was home by myself. My son was in school. And so it was just me by myself with all this time to think for about 3 months. And I just started getting closer and closer to God. And I realized that when I don't spend time with God in the morning, it's like leaving my front door unlocked. And it's like going out into the world. You know, something's going to happen today. It's not about anticipating the worst case scenario or anticipating the bad, but something is going to happen. So I like to be prepared. I like to be have my armor on. That's in the scriptures, to have your armor on, to have your protection, and even down to the having your foot shod. You can have some flip-flops on, or you can have some boots because you're ready for war. And so just being prepared for whatever happens or whatever is needed. And so whatever happens could be somebody needs a word of encouragement. Somebody needs several hours of encouragement, like we did in our conversation that day, Joynettie. It didn't seem like a big deal to me, but when I hear it now, it's like, oh wow. Because so many things happen that I forget. And so when you say, how did she remember? I'm like, I used to smoke weed. I can't remember a lot of stuff, honey. So but if I'm able to support and add value and help and laugh and share and learn and create an epiphany, something that you didn't realize before, but you say, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. Maybe I should, reevaluate how I'm thinking, because in our childhood trauma, we have tools that teach us how to survive the world and how to navigate. And sometimes we shrink back and we isolate, and sometimes we give too much of ourselves. Sometimes we're attention seekers because we're not getting a lot of attention. Sometimes it's so many different things, and there's a void in our lives. So we were created for community and connection, and Mendable is a community that's full of connection. So that's all I got.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I would love to introduce my wonderful brother, Corey, my co-host of my event. Corey, Corey is one of the greatest supporters. I'm telling you. I love all the things that Corey does. Corey is like amazing. His story is amazing, first of all. And then to hear his testimony, which I'm not going to share, I'll let him do that. To hear his testimony and then see who he is today and all that he gives back today, all that he gives to his community, all that he gives to the youth. It's just completely amazing. And I really love all that you do, truly. And he's very supportive. He supported me last year on my Collective Conversations event, and he's here again today. So I'm just so grateful for you because he not only shows up in spaces like this, he shows up in real life as well. If I'm missing, he's quick to, Joynettie, where you at? You know, where have you been? Why aren't you in the room? Like, what's going on? You okay? You good? I'm just checking on you. And I'm like, Corey's like the most busiest person I know, but he always has time to check on us. And I love that about him. I'm so grateful for you, Corey. So, with that being said, I will let you introduce yourself and share what you would like to share. And of course, I have a question for you after.
So as for the introduction to myself, my name is Corey Baker. Um, I'm happy to now be in a place in my life right now to where I'm surrounded by people that know me for me, love me for me, accept me for me. I mean, the good, the bad, the ugly. Of course, I'm not perfect. As far as for me, I'm just happy to be surrounded by people that I have the family that I actually want. Like Joynettie say, like, you meet people and some people just, it's your tribe, you know. And this is one of the most important and most valuable things in my life, like Mendable. Like, there's no words I can say that's gonna explain it. All I tell people all the time is you have to just take the time and come into one of the rooms on the clubhouse space on Monday or Thursday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern and see what we do and feel that energy and be in that community in that environment, and you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm here 100% today just to highlight Mendable and to highlight you all and the change that y'all have helped me to make in my life. Like, I remember one of the most important things is I was struggling. I don't know if it would be so. Nicole would tell y'all the clinical way to say it right because she always helps me with. I just know how to identify. I think it might have been like identity crisis somewhat because I was in a place of transition and I was struggling.
Imposter syndrome.
There we are, imposter syndrome, and I was in a place where I was struggling because it was, I know who I was, I know all the things that I've been through in my life, but I know what my soul and my spirit wanted, and I know the best part of me, if that makes any sense. And I know that I was at a place to where I was struggling to fully like just step into the best part of me because I still had some hangups thinking that, because of the prison time I served and because of the things I did in the street life and a lot of the traumas I experienced in childhood, it was hard for me to just fully step into and say, hey, this is who I am, because I was so stuck on who I was. And Mendable has helped me to fully be able to step into who I am, to be able to accept myself for the better part of me, for my best part. So when I wake up every day and I start my day, I'm starting my day as who I am, as who I know I'm supposed to be, and make me feel comfortable and understand that, it's okay to be your better self. Like, that's you. That's who we see. Like, y'all saw the positive part. Y'all saw the best in me, and it helped me to continue to bring that forth. So I just want to give my thanks to Mendable, to the whole family, and the experience for helping me to be 100% me and not feel no type of way about it. Like, those that don't like it, that's on them. Like, I'm not who I was. I'm who I am.
Let's talk about the ice cream and the fishing. in regards to daily activities and self-care?
Okay, so the fishing and the ice cream, it's been so helpful. Fishing, like being around water, I don't know if it's a part of my sign or I don't know what it is, but being around water for me is very peaceful. Oceans, lakes, rivers. So when I feel anxiety, I try to get like to around water or somewhere in nature because it helps me to calm down and disconnect from whatever it is that's giving me anxiety, because a lot of times the anxiety comes from things in the world and all the other attachments. And so when I get myself into nature, it causes me to kind of disattach from the world and all the worries or whatever it may be. So that has become a part of who I am, and it helps me, and that's something I'll probably be doing for the rest of my life. And so with the ice cream, I actually got the ice cream from my trainer. And when I went to go get my CDL in 2017, I was working for a company called Heartland Express, driving 18 wheelers. There was an older white guy named Pat that had 30 years experience, and he was my trainer. I always tell everybody I had the best trainer in the world. Yo, God blessed me by giving me Pat as my trainer. Whenever I would do something like not hit the brakes fast enough or be coming around the curve too fast, like, yo, it's been some times where I almost took us out. And what Pat would do is he say, yo, when I'm upset like that, like, yo, you owe me an ice cream. Like he don't never charge me nothing, but he said, yo, when you really get me like that, yo, I gotta have an ice cream. And so I don't care what we do, the nearest exit, we gonna get an ice cream so he can regroup. And Pat was an elder, and I had a lot of respect for Pat. There's something about ice cream that could just cools you down. I guess when you get hot, you get some ice cream and it cools you down. And I messed around and tried it, and it worked.
Thank you guys so much. I just want to say really quick, I love that you guys touched on that because finding healing modalities that work for ourselves is very, very important. And especially what really brings you joy and what brings you happiness in your adult life is so important because what works for one does not work for the other. But when we start to dive into ourselves and we start to learn who we are, learn what we like, learn what we don't like, learn that it's okay to have boundaries. You can love people from a distance. Learn that you're the most important person in your life. And unless you take care of you, you can't take care of others. So those things I think are very, very important. So thank you. Thank you for shedding light on that. Um, I just saw Papa Amos come into the room and I was so excited. And so I just want to say hi to Papa Amos. That's Sophia's dad, but he's really our dad too. And I tell you, the wisdom that he brings into our space is unmatched. I'm so grateful that Sophia shares her dad with us. So I don't want to ignore. I know I saw Nick wanting to say something, and then Doug also said that he wanted to mention something.
Go ahead, Doug.
This room has really been, I'm going to probably start getting emotional today because, when this world shit happened, I didn't know what I was going to do because it's this. So I got like 6 inches between my two eardrums that I need to take care of daily. And, when we couldn't do in-person meetings, for you folks that don't know, I'm an alcoholic. I've been sober over 33 years now. My anniversary was the 22nd of May, which, and it's a stinking, it's the longest continuous thing I ever did. And it was it's probably the one greatest thing that brought my dad and I closer together, because my dad and I really had a terrible relationship because he didn't know how to be a dad, because his dad didn't teach him how to be a dad, and so, um, coming into this room and then sharing my story, and, being vulnerable enough to share it to people that I'd never met. First of all, I felt comfortable enough to do it because that's what Sophia and Papstar and Jody you know, I mean, that's the original Three Stooges, so to speak. You know, that's exactly, what they did. They like loved on you, and I didn't learn how to love myself for a long time. And, by deciding that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and even though I was mad at the guy that made the suggestion to me that I needed to show up in the basement of this large church in Chicago, and I show up and find out that it's an AA meeting, and, the meeting ends, and what did I want to do? I wanted to go home and just get blasted. And fortunately, this guy knew because he was me, he knew, one thing. I don't care if you're a man, woman, however you classify yourself. We all have the one thing in common. Our stories are different, but we all understand why we're here. And it's the importance of being able to share and being able to like reach your hand out to somebody or put your arms around somebody when they're like in so much pain. Because for me, I couldn't reach out to that person up above who now I can use a 3-letter word called God, because I didn't feel that God gave a crap about Doug in the Windy City. And slowly but surely, by going to these meetings, taking the cotton out of my ears and putting it in my mouth and listening, the power of listening. And I think that's why Clubhouse is so good, because we can't see each other like we are right now. So you have to physically listen. And that's a skill, folks. Listening is a huge skill that a lot of people, don't do well. I still don't do it as well as I would like to. So, these people like shared stuff, and like I'm going, really? And then, and this is something I haven't shared in probably like 20 years. So the dude that was like my dad was my mom's father, my grandfather. And when I started going to meetings, and people were saying, if somebody does 3 drinks at lunch and 4 drinks at dinner every single stinking day of his life, he's got a problem. That was my grandfather. And I put him on a pedestal. And when he, and he was already passed by the time I joined this fellowship. But it was really hard for me to say that my grandfather was an alcoholic, but my grandfather was an alcoholic. He was a functional alcoholic. And for you folks who want to know more information about that, there is information that you can read, and about there's different levels of being an alcoholic. I couldn't function. I mean, once I got past like my 3rd drink, I was like, I would Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So eventually, like, these weird things and like stuff occurring in my life that I had no explanation about. And this guy on a Tuesday I used to want to like just jump across the room. And because I would walk in the room, the first thing he'd say was, "Doug, have you found him now?" And I just wanted to like punch him. And eventually, like about 4 to 5 months after these little unexplained things started happening, I walked into that room that one Tuesday night in another church. And he goes, "Doug, have you found him now?" I said, and I paused for a minute. Instead of getting mad at him, I said, "I'm not sure, but there are things going on that I don't have an explanation." And he like reached out to me. It's the first time he ever like touched me. And he said, "Dude, that's God." And I said, he goes, "It's okay if you can't call him that. Call him whatever you can, but you aren't walking alone." And that was like, really mind-blowing. And like 3.5 years after that, in the mountains of Colorado in a town called Telluride, I turned my life over to the care of God and did my fourth step and fifth step with a gentleman from New York. His name was Jeff. I've lost touch with him, unfortunately, but at least I remember his name. One person I will call out is Sophia May, who she just knows my heart. She knows my head, and she knows when to call me out. So love y'all. Thanks.
Oh, Doug, I love you. Um, I knew somebody was gonna make me cry today. I didn't know it was gonna be you. But I'm so appreciative for you. I'm sure what you just shared with us so vulnerably has touched many of us here today. So I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you being here. Thank you so very much. I love you.
And we're gonna do a challenge, and we're gonna do a challenge because next I'm about to see if we can get a word from Papa Amos. So we're gonna see who can unmute the quickest.
Dad, on the screen, if you tap the screen, you'll see it will come up with a video and a microphone. If you click on the microphone, you'll unmute.
Am I on mute
You be
now?
Yes,
There you
sir.
are. Yes, that was so much quicker than Corey would have done it.
Yeah.
Well, I must say something. I'm so happy to be in this room tonight. It made me really happy to see all my family and hear, listen to what you said. I'm not supposed to be saying anything, but thank you all. You are great. And it's like meat is like cuddling you all. No. Thank you.
Thank you, Papa Amos. We love you, man.
Thank you, Papa.
What I would like to do now, we have also someone here from Mendable that I would love to mention and highlight. Mark is one of our biggest supporters and Mendable. He's always supporting us. He's in every room with us. He helps us out in the chats and make sure we don't forget anyone or anything like that. And Mark, if you're able to come off mic and just say something about Mendable and what Mendable means to you, that would be perfect. And thank you so much for being here. If you're comfortable with that, you let me know.
Yeah, by all means, anything to just check. Can everyone hear me still? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Where do I begin? So you want to hear my bit of my story? Well, you know, I can't remember who said it earlier, but someone said they're a suicide survivor. I can relate to that. I'm a 30-time suicide survivor, so that's crazy, right? But I've always felt like I've had something watching over me. Um, And even I've had someone in particular in this room just making sure I was okay. She knows who she is. I think you all know who she is. She's the queen of of Mendable. Um, but yeah, like generally 30 times suicide survivor, and I always bounce back somehow. And I don't know. I often wonder to myself, how do I, you know, bounce back so many times? And I think generally, I think it's because since I've found Mendable, um, I've not felt suicidal as much as I used to, you know. So I honestly think if it weren't for Mendable, I probably wouldn't be here. Um, or but my mental health would probably be at worst stage ever. And I'm looking forward to the future of Mendable because, take over 2025, Mendable apps coming, the conference is coming. I don't know what else to say, guys. I love you all, and I'm thankful to be in this space.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mark. We appreciate you and we're thankful to have you. Absolutely. So, I think I'll ask you the question. What was one of the times to where you found yourself in a situation, and Mendable was able to be there and support you and to help you to make it through that situation? Is it anything that you can recall?
One of the most vivid memories is there was this day, I can't remember what it was about, but it was really depressing me. And I think actually looking back now, it was a short time after my nan had died. Died in 2019 on July 20th. So obviously now it's coming up to almost 6 years. And yeah, I just wasn't feeling like I was missing my nan and I wanted to be with her. And I started thinking, well, only way I could be with her and be in her spirit is to not be here myself, literally, mind, body, and soul. And then unfortunately, I was speaking to Sophia about it, and Sophia was so scared about that. She was like, "Do you need me to call the police? Do you need me to help you, with law enforcement and things like that?" And I was like, "No, no, I just need time to calm down, talk to you, talk to my Mendable family." And yeah, eventually, after an hour or two, I slowly calmed down and things went back to normal. So it was Mendable that put it at the mind front. I was like, no, I got to stay here. I got to stay strong. I got to stand strong for my Mendable family because there's people worse off than me. So I think that's answered your question, I hope.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, man. I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. With that being said, I'm passing it back over to Joynettie. Back over to you, Joynettie. Thank you so much, Mark, for that share.
Corey, thank you so very much.
Uh-huh.
Nicole, I see your hand raised. Can we hear from Haley and then David, if that's okay? Awesome. Haley, you can go ahead and unmic.
Good morning, everyone. Well, I'm not going to turn my camera on because it's too early for EA to be looking up my nose in case I don't have the camera pointed in the right direction. Um, but good morning, everyone, and thank you for this. And Sophia, thank you for sending that link, like as a direct link. That was very helpful for me. So thank you. For me, what I have gotten out of Mendables is just so I attended a mental health awareness sort of assembly at the high school this week, and the kids, it was student run, which was beautiful. They all shared their story. They shared inspiring quotes, and at the end, there was 1,000 kids there, and at the end, we invited anyone who wanted to stay to share, get support, be prayed over. We invited those kids to stay, and everyone else was excused to go back to classes. And the one thing that I heard over and over from these students, these high school students, was that their parents trauma dump on them, that they turn to their kids to be their therapists. And I heard it so many times, and these kids poured their hearts out and they cried. And they said, I'm not mature enough to deal with this. I need someone to listen to me. I can't be the one to listen to my parents. I can't be the one to solve my parents' problems, to solve their divorce issues, to dissolve their dating issues. I can't be that person. But they can't find the words and the courage to say this to their parents. And I heard it over and over and over again. And so as I was sitting there listening, and I stood up afterwards and I spoke to the kids because, here they were thinking they were inspiring their classmates, and it inspired me. And as I sit here and I listen to you guys this morning and what has Mendables meant to each of us, for me, it has been a place to be able to come to when I need to talk about my kids, when I need to talk about the struggles with my kids, that I'm talking to you guys and I'm asking for your experience and your advice instead of taking that to my children. And sometimes, I mean, I have my own stuff, right? We all do. And so sometimes when my daughter's talking to me, my quick response is that I want to say, oh, I remember a time that I did that. And I make it about me and not about her. And that's not what she needs in the moment. And I know that. And I'm getting better and better about biting my tongue and just stopping and breathing and asking her, so do you need me to help you? Do you want me just to listen? What? And then I ask her, I always follow it up as, what do you need from me now? But you guys have been really helpful in that. So I appreciate having the space to come to when I need to talk about what's going on with my kids, and I can talk to you about it instead of taking that to them and being one of those parents that does that. So I mean, there's so much more, right, to unpack as far as what does Mendables do for us. But for me right now, in the space that I'm at with a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old, that's the biggest thing that I appreciate, is being able to come and just talk to you guys about it instead of taking it to them. So thank you so much. And thank you for this space, Joynettie.
Thank you so much, Haley. I really appreciate you. I'm sending you love as always. And I really appreciate you just bringing, real life to us and being so vulnerable with your heart as well. So I appreciate you so much and all that you do in Mendable as well. So thank you so much for being here today with us and sharing. Um, I would like to move to David. I did see David, and I also see Miss Birdie as well. So I do see you guys were coming.
So I'm one of the original OGs of Mendables. On day one with Sophia, so we've known each other for nearly 5 years now, and I don't think we've actually ever met. The thing about Mendable is when it first started, it was kind of like it had structure, but it was like still finding its feet. And the way Sophia and all you guys have we've all come as a team and as a community and made it grow to where it is today, where we've got the structure, we've got everything in place, and we also know when we're going to talk about anything which may trigger somebody to give clear trigger warnings, just to allow people the time to disappear out the room or to mute up or whatever while we all speak. And it's just a really nice place where I'm an open book. I tell people on the train my life story, so people have to listen to me because I've got ADHD and dyslexia, which is my superpowers. But when we're talking, I've always been open and honest because I'm a mental health first aider. Trigger warning, as my mate Nick did before. I'm a suicide survivor, and I've been through quite a traumatic while in my life, and I'm only 40. Thanks, ladies. I know I don't look at you too kind. I appreciate it. Feel the love. Thank you. But yeah, so as you can all tell, I'm a bit of a joker as well because the thing about Mendable is it's somewhere where you can feel vulnerable, be vulnerable, and be open. And you're not going to be judged. You're not going to be laughed at. You're not going to be ridiculed. We're all going to be there to give you a big warm hug and just to say it will be okay. Because I have a saying which I stick to, and this too shall pass, both good and bad. Nothing in life is permanent. It's only as permanent as you decide to make it. So I'm going to give you this as well. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. So things are going to hurt you in life, but whether you decide to let them hurt you forever and suffer with them, that's on you. And I'm being the same. I've been in the pity party, the woe is me, but oh my God, I know. And then I've been into the mendable room, listened to other people's powerful stories, and gone, actually, David, do you know what? You can get through this. You're all right. You've got your team, you've got your tribe behind you. So we're all good. And that's what Mendable's done to me. You're all beautiful human beings, every single one of you. I love you all, and I can't wait to meet you all and give you a big 6'4" giant scouser hug, and that's the fellas as well. And I'll kiss you on the top of your head as well. I'll give you I see girls they're like looking up like that. I'll give you a big hug and then I kiss you on the top of the head like this, because not many people are as tall as me. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna love you all. I'm gonna be here now. I'm sorry I was out before because obviously I was with my son, and I like to be present with my son because me and my ex-wife are separated. So when I see them, I try and be with them. So, but I'm here now. Love you all. Remember, whatever you're going through, this too shall pass. And remember this saying: you are enough, just the way you are. Don't change for anybody. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not enough, because I'm telling you that you're enough, and I will come down to wherever they are and kick their head in, okay? Because you are enough. Remember that. Mwah. Love you all.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much. I'm sending you so much love. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here and sharing with us today. I love you. Pap is not going to be able to join us. His cell phone kind of like died out on him. So we will just end it out without Pap today. But I do want to go to Ella and then we'll hear from you, Nicole. And then we'll close out.
Yeah, I've been listening in the background, and I am just so proud of you, Joynettie. I wanted to say that first of all because this is your platform, of course. So celebrate you, give you your flowers and all of those beautiful things. And hi to everybody. Love to see you all. And the voices, oh my God, I don't even need to see you, but I know who's speaking. That is just so amazing. And of course, we're here to celebrate Mendable. My mental health journey story, I've spoken with David in the podcast. I'm not going to go into that, but I think what's really important about the Mendable, let's call it a phenomenon now. Let's call it a phenomenon. After 4 years, it really has built up that speed, hasn't it? And it's there, embracing everybody from all walks of life, wherever you may be, wherever you may have been. It's sort of the past, the present, and the future of many of us. So I'm just truly honoured to be part of the journey, and particularly Sophia for having the foresight and listening to those whispers, wherever we might believe they come from God, divine, source, the universe, intuition. Sometimes there's just something embedded in us. And if we have that wherewithal to listen to it, which is one of the reasons why I run meditation. I think meditation has been so important, because sometimes I know when I've been in the depths of anxiety, I don't want to be in quiet. I don't want to be in stillness. That's not going to cut it for me. But what did was having the music in the background. And so that's one of the things that I love. I play the solfeggio frequencies, different levels, and then to speak the guided meditations to that. That was my gift to the world, and I just appreciate that people have found value in that. And I know for me, when I'm consistent with meditation, that shifts a lot in my life. And I've noticed when I'm not, then it doesn't. It's anybody's guess what could happen, because the chaos starts to create itself, doesn't it? So in the calm, in the stillness, coming to know who you truly are and know what your gifts are, and sharing that, I think, is so important. And I love you. I love each and every one of you. And yes, I'm going to, if you say you love me back, I'm going to say I love you more. Because it's just an outpouring of love and the building up of each other. Because sometimes I've come to the room and I've been completely broken. When Doug was speaking about his mother, I was like, I think it was a few years ago, and I was just in the depths of my own grief, and it just broke me. And yeah, I think I took some time out then as well to deal with my own personal stuff, shall we say. But I think for me, what's really important is that I can be in the space and not necessarily speak, not say anything, because I don't want you all to hear me crying. I said the other day I didn't want you all to hear me speaking while I'm eating, but I think the crying would have been worse. And so even going into the room at that stage, in that state, it's supportive. And I encourage everyone to be there, to be part of it, because we always manage to find the humour, don't we, in the situation. We always manage to find, I think it's really the gold. It's the gold that knits everything and everyone together, because I think for a long time I experienced anxiety as being broken in some way, but I no longer consider that. I consider it powerful. I consider it a bridge, if you like, to be more expansive and to share the love and to share the beauty that I know I have and we all have inside of us. And that's why I love Mendable, that we are part of creating this, what I like to borrow from Charles Eisenstein, a more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. And it's from my heart to yours. I know Pat can't be here, but when I started going to the room, Pat was there running the rooms in his own imitable fashion. OG, I know you like to be called Corey now, but you were the original gangster. OG's OG, and of course EA, and I think you guys really held it down, and it was my honour just to be part of those rooms on a Monday. So when it opened up to women as well on a Thursday, of course I wanted to support that. But flowers also to Sophia, because there's no judgment, and I think that's essential when it comes to healing. And not only no judgment from the team, from the leadership, if you like, and that has been inspired by Sophia. There's no judgment on self as well. And it's that self-compassion, that knowing that whatever happens, you're still perfect, whole and complete. And we get through this. We can chat about it. We can laugh about it. There's so many different ways to connect and communicate. And for me, it is really important. That communication, wherever it might be, if it's a phone call, if it's a text, if it's Instagram, if it's John sending his multiple messages of staying positive, it's all part of Mendable. So yeah, I just wanted to say that, and my love to you all.
Ella, I love you so much. My
I
goodness.
love you more.
I love you both more. No, I win.
My gosh. Ella, I just want to say before I move on to Nicole, I'm so grateful for you. You know, Ella is not in the United States. She's across the pond as well. And when I came into her clubhouse space, um, she know me from anywhere and welcomed me in with open arms, allowed me to share her space with her, and then began to encourage me. Joynettie, I think you could do this. You can lead the room for me one day. And I was thinking, no, I can't do that. And she introduced me to these different frequencies of music and 432 hertz and all of these different things. And I built up a courage there just from her bringing me in and opening up her space to me. The ripple effect has been amazing, as to where now I do that in my own personal life now because I'm able to 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 grasp it on my own as well now. But I didn't have that before I met Ella. I just was looking for some place where I was like, I need to find some place where I can meditate. I want somebody to teach me. I want to know how to do it, and it flowed so easily. So I'm forever grateful for you for this. It's amazing. And then I was able to follow you into Mendable. So my goodness, what a blessing you have been for me. So thank you so very much. Gosh, I love you guys. My heart is so full. I'm going to give my gratitude after, but I would love to hear from Nicole. And then we will close out.
I just wanted to say just a couple of things. First of all, Ella, under my umbrella, Ella, I love you, Ella, and your wisdom and the joy you bring and how you are in this cycle of grief, but still loving and positive and out here, honey. You are out here ready to date, honey. So I love that. That is amazing. But the thing that I like about Mendable, first, let me go back to Sophia. When I came to Mendable and Sophia was in there, she was just, the host, but she's a host in real life. And so I was like, why is she in here? She doesn't have any problems, any mental health concerns. Like, she's a singer and she's famous and all of these things. And really, she's British. What kind of problems do they have? And then Ella with her elegance. And I was like, they just have tea. And like, what are they really whining about? What kind of problems do they have? But Sophia has had, like, we all say that we're mental health advocates, but Sophia is really, really, for real, an advocate. She wants to, hey, David, how are you? Are you okay? Hey, Travis, I see you. How are you? Are you okay? Miss Birdie, hey, are you all right? Are you okay? Is everybody, feeling fine? What's going on with everybody? She's really checking on everybody and making sure that everybody is okay and making sure that nobody overtalks anybody. And the thing that I like is that, like, Doug was in here sharing, and Ella came in and shared, and Corey, shared, and you'll have somebody spill their whole life out venting in here, like Nail did a couple of weeks. So shout out to Nail. I appreciate you for staying. Shout out to Toya for venting, for staying, for keep coming back. I love it. And then when somebody else is having a vulnerable moment, the circle, like we have the circle, it's the circle of life. Everybody will pour into the next person. And so I just love the camaraderie, the reciprocity. It's not just take, take, take. It's not just give, give, give. But just like someone is here for you and your story, you're there for somebody else and their story. And I just love that. But the purpose of this conversation is to make sure that you have support in all of the things you do. And so we have support on Clubhouse. We have support outside of Clubhouse. Life is life in, people are people in, the world is worlding. But having the consistency, because anybody who struggles with anxiety, and when I say any, I mean everybody, because it's something that you can't help. It's something that happens. It's autonomic. So it's an autonomic response, which means it's not anything that you can turn on and turn off. But so for the people that have anxiety, which is everyone, you should have a ready-made strategy for what you do. Like for Corey, it's the ice cream, it's the lake. For me, it's comedy. I'm going to laugh at something all the time, even my mistakes, even my failures. I'm laughing, but I'm also learning. And so I just wanted to highlight that and point out that having something when life starts life is something positive. So that's really all that I wanted to say. I just wanted to make sure that you all find your tribe, find your group, find what makes you happy, find what calms you down, what adds a little life. And after you pour it all out, make sure you fill it all back up. So that's all I got.
I love you, Nicole. Thank you so very much. Oh gosh. Well, guys, this has been another beautiful experience for me. Thank you so much. My heart is so full. I want to thank everyone and give gratitude for them, for you guys spending your time with us today, dedicating your time to mental health awareness, to mendable awareness. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm like choked up. I don't even know what to say. I just want to continue to give my gratitude. This has been such a beautiful safe space where people have come in and shared their hearts with us, shared their testimonies with us. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of you. And thank you for everything that you guys do to keep spreading awareness. Awareness is key. Safe spaces like this is needed. This is how we break down stigmas. This is how we do it, guys. And I'm so grateful. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you to all my loved ones that are here, although I love you all. Um, thank you to everybody that has spent their time with us today. I know I will see you guys on Monday in Mendable. And please, everyone come to Mendable. um, but yes, Corey, to my awesome co-host Corey.
Well,
Thank you so much. Thank
well,
you so much. And thank you to all of the speakers. Thank you guys. We're all in different time zones, right? So I appreciate you guys so much. Everybody getting up early, midday, all of that. So much love.